Happy Halloween, everyone, and welcome to this very spooky edition of the Met Report. I'm Sassy Montenegro.
And I'm Maya Antop. Let's get started. It's election season, and Auraria campus is right at the center of it, with a polling location currently accepting ballots. Located on the ground floor of the Tivoli Student Union, just across the hall from the Starbucks, is a polling center open from now until the midterm elections on November 8th. In order to vote here, one must be a resident of Denver over the age of 18. Students can either drop off their filled out ballot in the box outside or come into the room and vote in person. You can check your registration status at govotecolorado.gov. Make sure you mark your calendars for November 8th and have a good election day.
A new and sweet addition to the Tivoli food has just been added. Royals Ice Cream opened a pop-up store serving students through the next week. Our reporter Bri Hernandez has the scoop.
Located on the first floor right next to the historic grain mill, Royals Ice Cream has just opened this week to the students and staff of the Auraria campus. The shop is operating Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The aim of the pop-up is to advertise the grand opening of their first location in Denver off 14th and Tremont Street. The grand opening is currently scheduled for Halloween Day. The shop currently has a selection of 12 flavors to choose from. The shop also offers 2 vegan options in vanilla and pumpkin pie. The Tivoli pop-up location is tended to by the owner, Tate, and one other employee. He is so excited to bring a new food option to the Auraria campus. Be sure to check it out.
Our shop kind of just started by college students. Me specifically, I go to MSU, so I was I had some aspirations to get open and start trying to figure out my business ventures. And Kate came along. She was like, "Well, let's do ice cream," and just started rolling. Very motivated to get down here to give the college students the experience of ice cream, because it's it hasn't been here for a while, and just bringing it here, I feel like it bring a good atmosphere, good energy all around. And yeah, so now we're here, we're kind of getting rolling. It's our second day in, but it's been fun. It's been eventful, and hopefully everybody's happy and we stay. So that's pretty much what's.
Though the pop-up location is only serving ice cream while it's here, the main location on Tremont Street will offer shakes, floats, and adult drinks. To learn more about Royals Ice Cream, stop by the location and take a flyer where you can scan the QR code to get more information and details. From the Met Report, this has been Bri Hernandez reporting.
Legislators from the Colorado Black Caucus hosted an opportunity on Wednesday for students to meet their elected officials, get engaged, and ask questions about policy and how legislation works. I was live in the action right on campus. Let's check me out. I'm here on campus today where the Colorado Black Caucus has stopped in to connect with students on issues they care about, like voting and elections. Let's take a look what they said. On Wednesday, students in Tivoli were able to participate in a conversation with state legislators. Members of the Colorado Black Legislative Caucus had a chance to connect with students who want to have their voices heard, learn about policy, and hear about other information on civic engagement. I got the chance to speak with the director of the Colorado Black Caucus. Let's hear what she said.
Hello, my name is Annette Bowser. I'm the director of the Black Caucus. Let me be more clear, the Colorado Black Democratic Legislative Caucus. And today we brought out 7 of the 8 members to do some student engagement with Metro's campus, learn about legislation, and get involved in the community.
Assistant Majority Leader Senator Rhonda Fields and District 8 House Representative Leslie Harrod spoke directly to students to encourage them to engage in issues they're passionate about.
I represent House District 8, which is in Central and Northeast Denver. I also chair the Appropriations Committee, and I serve on the Joint Budget Committee. I chair the Black Caucus, and I'm also proud to be the first African-American LGBTQ person to hold elected office in Colorado as an out LGBTQ person. And so it's been a real honor to be here. I honestly got my start in politics through student government.
To find out who your representative is, go to www.leg.colorado.gov/findmylegislator.
Tired of going far out to shop for clothes? Well, there's a new opportunity here at the Auraria campus for you to expand your wardrobe. Starting every other Tuesday, the Psychedelic Trading Post will be at the Aurora campus by the Plaza building to sell retro clothing, art, jewelry, collectibles, and more. This event features 303 thrifty and other local artists. The event will start at 11 a.m. and go until sundown. Forgot your wallet? Well, that's not a problem. Venmo and Apple Pay are available, so make sure to check it out. And if you're going to be late to class, make sure you are fashionably late.
The Department of Philosophy and Music took advantage of the Halloween spirit on campus and held a Japanese ghost stories event. Our reporter Cecilia Perez Najera checked it out.
MSU Denver is staying in the Halloween spirit, and one of the ways they're doing that is by hosting an event today at the King Center in the recital hall titled Traditional Japanese Ghost Stories with Yoko Hiraoka.
The Haunted Japan event was hosted by the Department of Philosophy and the Department of Music this past Wednesday and featured Kyoto, Japan native Yoko Hiraoka, a senior master of biwa who told haunted Japanese stories through her musical performance. After the event, we got to speak to Professor TJ Desage, who was a big part in making the event happen, about what their goal was in having the event here at MSU.
Well, I'm teaching an upper division course in philosophy this semester on Japanese religions, and one of the things I really wanted students to be able to see was the ways in which religious and spiritual ideas are reflected in artistic culture, which is present in what she performed today. These were ghost stories, but they're rooted in sort of Buddhist ideas. I really wanted students to be able to connect what they're learning in the classroom with the reality that these are lived cultural experiences in Japan.
If you're interested in more events being held by the Department of Philosophy, Professor TJ let us know of some other events coming in the future you can check out.
In religious studies in the philosophy department, we are working on a couple of lecture series. We've got 2 lectures remaining this semester. One will be on religion and art, and the other will be a Hinduism-oriented lecture. And then we are hoping to do some lectures in the spring as well. Those will be like in the afternoon during the week, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Usually you can find them if you check the philosophy department's website or if you check the boards around the philosophy department. But those will be at the moment.
For the Met Report, I'm Cecilia Perez Najera.
Coming up next,
We asked students about their Halloween costumes.
Denver plans to shut down schools.
And a water project will have Denver Street out of commission for 3 months.
All this and more coming right after the break.
Dad?
Being a dad can be transformative, but also a lot of fun. Help prepare your little monster for the outside world. Encourage their interests. Support their growth. Walk them through new relationships.
He's perfect.
Whatever you say.
And prepare them to stand on their own 2 feet.
So much of the good in my life is because of you.
Never stop being a dad.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
It's definitely taken a toll on all of us.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before,
it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID shots are safe.
Much safer than getting the virus.
We can all do our part
and get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
As we approach Halloween, the need for costume ideas remain at an all-time high. What better way to get some fresh ideas than asking students on campus what they're going to be for Halloween?
Hey guys, what's up? It's Anissa coming at you with our first edition of E-Met on the Street. And today we're in the Tivoli asking kids what they're going to be for Halloween this year. Let's get into it.
What are you guys going to be for Halloween?
Cleopatra.
A basketball player.
Hockey player.
Tinkerbell.
A vampire.
Cusco from the Prisoner Group.
An M&M.
Walter White.
I'm gonna be Luigi for Halloween just cause like he's the better Mario brother, 100%. Like, you know, Luigi's short as hell. You know.
Well, what do you have against Mario?
Oh, Mario can't. Okay, I got a whole thing about this.
Basically, Mario. So you don't tell me his girl's Peach, right? She gets abducted every single time. Abducted, really? Really, I think he just can't hold down a relationship, to be honest. I think Mario's the bad guy, and he's the one that's stealing Peach every single time. Because, like, in all honesty, Mario doesn't have a kid. Who has a kid, though? Bowser. Bowser. You know what I'm saying? Mario don't got a kid.
So, literally, bro, all I'm saying is Luigi's financially responsible. You know what I mean? He always out here. People pay to get him on top of Mario's video games. You know what I mean? He's the DLC, bro. He's the extra little on top. And, you know, like, he ain't never lose his girl before. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Mario has commitment issues, confirmed. All right, what are you going to be for Halloween?
The letter T.
Do you have a favorite word with the letter T?
Tango?
Love it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Come with me. Hey, I was wondering what you're going to be for Halloween.
Oh, so I'm going to be wearing Elton John's sequin outfit, the one with Dodgers, the sparkly one, for Halloween. So I'm very excited
So
to be
iconic.
bejeweled. I'm going to be sparkling.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
I'm gonna be a vampire.
I'm gonna be a duck.
Well, I hope that gave you guys some Halloween costume inspiration, because I know it sure gave me some. That's it for this edition of Email on the Street, and I hope you guys have a safe, spooktacular Halloween.
If you have a talent you'd like to show off, then Open Mic Night is the place you want to be. Organized by the Tri-Institutions of Auraria Campus, CU Denver, MSU Denver, the Community College of Denver, and sponsored by the Center for Multicultural Engagement and Inclusion, or CMEI, Open Mic Night at the Tivoli Garage Lounge is a place where singers, dancers, poets, comedians, or anyone can perform in a judgment-free and encouraging zone. Open Mic Night happens every month and is open to anyone on campus, so whether you want to show off your talent or enjoy some food while you scope out some of the campus's hidden talent, make sure you stop by for the next Open Mic Night, November 1st.
Get your cameras ready, put on those dancing suits, or pick up those pencils and let those creative juices flow. The MSU Denver Metrosphere is back for this semester's newest magazine issue, and we have all the details on how you can be a part of it. The MSU Denver Metrosphere is back, and they just announced the theme for the semester's 31st volume, Natural Tendencies. This issue is hoping to release restaurants when it comes to art, literature, and creative expressions to look for the authentic nature of the world and ourselves interesting. Now, if you're looking to be a part of this upcoming issue, the Metrosphere will be taking submissions of your writings, art, music, films, or other creative work. You can submit by clicking the link at Metrosphere Instagram page or going to the website shown on the screen. The deadline is November 4th, so make sure you don't miss out on this amazing opportunity.
Denver Public Schools announced this past week that they would be closing middle and elementary schools with low enrollment. The school district's board opted for the decision after publishing data that showed enrollment was likely to decline in the next 3 years. Schools with fewer than 215 students, or 275 if their enrollment shows downward trends, will be targeted by the cuts. Overall, more than 20 schools may face closure by the district, presumably before the beginning of the next school year in 2023. 10 schools have already been identified as being recommended for closure.
The Denver Water Service announced Monday that a new project will cause closures on Quebec Street for the next 3 months. The Water and Road project will extend from East 12th to East 23rd Avenue, with crews operating Monday through Saturday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. In a press release, Denver Water said each block of the project will take approximately 2 weeks to complete. While detour signs will be posted in the area, Denver Water recommends that the commuters avoid an area if possible, and to expect delays from now on until January.
If you've been in the neighborhood recently, you'd know that it's officially sweater weather. Let's tune in with Melanie Aguirre to give us our weekly weather update.
Thank you guys, and we are out here in this cold, chilly weather. It's about low 60s today at the highest and low 30s. This Halloween weekend, please consider wearing a jacket with your costume, because it is going to be in the low 60s and the low 30s in the nighttime. By the beginning of next week, though, we are looking at some high 60s and about 70 on Tuesday, so take advantage of that warm weather while it still is here. And please be prepared, because by the end of the week, we are going to be again in the low 60s and low 30s. With some chance of precipitation, we will also probably be seeing some snow soon, so please have your boots ready. And that'll be all for the weather today. Thank you so much. My name is Melanie. Back to y'all in the studio.
Hello everyone, I'm Noah Block and welcome back to Politics.
Let's all come together for politics. On Tuesday, October 25th, Rishi Sunak became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the fifth person to hold the office in 6 years. With an unstable future facing Great Britain, the pressure on the 42-year-old Tory is immense. The office of Prime Minister has changed hands a great deal since Brexit in 2016, illustrating deep uncertainties in the country's future. Sunak assumed the office from Liz Truss, who resigned after only 44 days at 10 Downing Street, the shortest tenure of any British Prime Minister. Sunak is formerly the Chancellor of the Exchequer and Chief Secretary of the Treasury. He is also the first Hindu to hold the office and the first non-white person. Sunak takes power as several crises begin to converge in the UK, including the economic rebound from COVID, the increased cost of living, a countrywide energy crisis, and the ongoing war in Ukraine. President Biden offered congratulations to the new PM, calling his rise to power a, quote, groundbreaking milestone. The final town hall in a series of events hosted on the Auraria campus by Rocky Mountain PBS titled The Solution Studio took place last week with the visit of Governor Jared Polis. Though his schedule ahead of the midterms is packed, the governor found time to spend an hour in our own Studio B under the Auraria Media Center. Taking questions from a diverse panel of MSU students, Polis gave the kind of measured yet extensive responses that one would expect of a governor and former congressman.
We have to find how we can live sustainably as a state in a more water efficient way. So we need more storage and more water investment, but we can't store our way out of a drought. Agrivoltaics, which is production of solar energy along with crops. The reason I mention this in the water context, of course we could talk about it in the energy context, is the partial shade also is a water conservation technique that can lead to reduced water usage for partially shaded crops. Right now we're in the $600,000 to $700,000 range average in the metro area. If we don't take action, that could get as bad as some of the other states like California, Oregon, where it's over $1 million. Decreasing traffic collisions, increasing habitat connectivity, a great example of collaboration. And of course, we look forward to collaborating with both tribes on water projects as well. But yes, we need to engage with all of our municipal and water district partners. And for the first time, and I alluded to this earlier, align our housing policy and our water policy. With regards to water, the tribes as sovereign nations have their own water rights. So we respect and honor those water rights. They're contractual water rights, including reducing their irrigated green areas, really only using irrigation where it's needed. I mean, if it's like a soccer field that people play soccer on, they're going to do it, but not just for decorative purposes. So I highlighted that at the time. I lent my support behind it. It did pass the Aurora City Council. But these decisions are made locally across the state. We can do more, and we should do more as a state with our state resources, and I'm really going to increasingly try to challenge our state government. And of course, when you look at outreach to particular populations, not only can it be more challenging to reach people who are experiencing homelessness, but there's often going to be an even greater need for some of those services. Ridgeview, just outside in Aurora, on the edge of Aurora, the state happened to own 400 or 500 acres, and that's going to be about 500 residential treatment beds. Universal coverage for physical health needs, no less mental health needs for Coloradans or for Americans, many countries have, and how we can better deploy those savings to doing things like, not having a cap of 6 sessions.
Jared Polis will face Republican Heidi Ganahl, who also appeared in the Solution Studio a few weeks ago, in the general election on November 8th. President Davidson hosted another fireside chat on Thursday, this time with 4-star General and her former co-worker, Darren McDew. McDew previously served as General of the United States Air Force, a post that he held from 2014 until his retirement in 2018. Over the course of his career, McDew earned 2 Air Force Distinguished Service Medals, 2 Defense Superior Service Medals, as well as an Air Force Command Pilot Badge and a Presidential Service Badge. Though he didn't talk in detail about combat experience, the military commander spoke on his more than 3-decade-long career, including his perspective on leadership styles, the difficulties of rising up the ranks as a black man, and how important it is to not underestimate oneself.
I chose to be the best me I can be today and be a better me tomorrow. I couldn't dream of being a pilot. I'd never met one. The first black pilot I met was me. The first black engineer I met was me. The first black commander I met was me. So what I tell people is aspire to be the best you and then get better and then challenge yourself into areas that you don't think you can do.
Folks, that's all I've got for politics today, and remember, give peace a chance.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
All right, let's try this. COVID has been a really long fight, and it's been especially tough on kids.
It's been a rough transition for all of us.
Right now, as a father, I want to give the best tools to protect my kids.
So what can we do to get back to that sense of normalcy?
Every day, parents ask me if their child 5 and above should get vaccinated. The answer is absolutely yes.
My own sons, who are 6 and 8 years old, had their COVID vaccine.
It's an added layer of protection to keep kids from getting any type of severe illness or complications from a COVID infection. A lot of parents are also wondering if the vaccines are safe.
Yes, it's safe and effective for children.
Definitely safer than a COVID infection.
Children get a smaller dosage than adults do.
So if you have questions or concerns about the vaccine, that's okay.
We're here to help.
We have the tools we need to protect kids and help them stay healthy and all get through this together.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Trenton Sanders, here to bring you all the latest sports news of this week. As the fall high school sports season comes to an end, many of the first championship titles are being handed out. This last weekend, we were treated to great softball as the 5A 2022 championship bracket kicked off Friday morning. After losing in the championship game last year, the Columbine Rebels were back with a vengeance. Going into the tournament, the Rebels held a 24-1 record, the only loss coming against the team they would eventually meet in the championship, Douglas County, the #1 seed. The Rebels would roll through the 16-seed Lakewood Tigers, 11-1. Then the road got a little tougher, facing off against #9 seed Ponderosa, which came down to the wire. But the Rebels advanced with the 4-1 victory. Taking on the #4 ranked Erie in the semis, the Rebels would scratch and claw their way to their second straight championship game by taking down Erie. Columbine faced the only team that ruined their perfect season, but wouldn't let them ruin their championship dreams. The Rebels would send Douglas County home 7-3 to secure their spot as the Colorado's best softball team. This past weekend, Met reporter Kieran Nigro was out in Aurora to cover the NCCGA's second and final tournament of the fall. Here's the story.
I'm here at Aurora Hills for the NCCGA's second tournament of the fall, where the Roadrunners look to improve on their national ranking after a tough 7th place finish in the first tournament. Let's see how they do this weekend. Over the weekend, the MSU club golf team competed in the NCCGA's second tournament of the fall. The tournament was held at Aurora Hills Golf Course on October 22nd and 23rd. The team was looking good and feeling good on Saturday morning as they teed off between 11:56 and 12:20. The Roadrunners shot a combined score of 418 on day 1 and of 427 on day 2. So, with a final team score of 845, the team placed 6th. I was able to catch up with team member Ethan Sheik to ask about the conditions on day 2.
Course is nice. The leaves are really tough. I'm losing balls into it left and right, but obviously I'm finding them. One thing I'm finding, wind. Wind is really, really difficult. As you can probably hear, it's brutal out here.
As winter sports season begins at MSU, a new face is at the helm of the Roadrunners basketball program. Coach Dan Fick got hired in May, and our reporter Will Martin was able to get the scoop from Fick himself as he starts this new journey here at MSU Denver.
MSU Denver welcomed new men's basketball coach Dan Fickey earlier this year, as he was hired in the middle of May, towards the end of the spring semester. With the appointment of Coach Fickey, an Aurora native returns home for the first time as a head coach. He's very excited to start this journey.
As a head coach, words can't express just the excitement and the energy that I feel to be back home and then to lead a program with such great tradition, such a deep history, and then having my chance to write a chapter of that history is just, words can't express how excited I am to do that. Awesome.
Even though he got hired on with a few months' time before the start of the new semester, it's not a lot of time to get the pieces you want. But Fickey is already looking towards a full year of the recruitment window.
6 to sign, so it definitely makes everything with a little bit more urgency, probably being hired a little bit later and with the needs that the team has for next year. But we've got some ground laid with some good prospects, and I'm excited about what next year will hold for us.
Fickey is excited by his appointment and to make his own mark on the already deep history of MSU Denver basketball.
I think the expectation of what this program is and should be again. You don't go to a program a lot of times where you have national championship expectations, and this program has that. Regional finals, national tournaments, Final Fours, but to be able to have a program where that is the expectation, while some might find that daunting, to me that's what makes this job so exciting. And what should be our biggest draw in recruiting is that you're coming to one of the winningest programs in Division II college basketball history, and even college basketball history in general.
With the season about to start, Fickey is excited to face the rest of the tough competition that makes up the RMAC.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, obviously, Black Hills and Colorado Mesa with what they did last year, being the top of the league, UCCS, Regis, Colorado Mines, all schools really for me that I've known as great programs throughout their history. But I think, for us, we want to get to the top of the league, so playing against that top half night in, night out, and proving who we're going to be against the best. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And so we need to beat Black Hills, we need to beat Mesa, we need to beat Regis and Mines, and so I'm looking forward to really all that top five that was in front of us last year.
This is Will Martin with Met TV.
The World Cup brings together the best football teams in the world. But this year, global affairs have cast a shadow over FIFA. It has been reported that multiple organizations are pushing FIFA to ban Iran from the Qatar World Cup. The main reason for this being Iran's women's rights policy and their involvement with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. One of the organizations requesting this is the football club Shakhtar Donetsk, with CEO Sergei Palkin proposing that Ukraine take Iran's place in the World Cup. Ukraine failed to beat Wales in the European qualifiers and therefore missed the cut for FIFA, whereas Iran finished first in their qualifiers above Korea Republic, who came second. It remains to be seen what FIFA will decide with less than a month. The World Cup starts on November 20th.
Thank you, Trenton.
Well, where's your costume at?
You know what? Today we saw such amazing costumes. I don't even think I can compete.
You're right. Well,
that's all the time we have this week.
Be sure to follow our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and mymetmedia.com.
Have a terrifying Halloween weekend, everybody.
Oh.